Hello and welcome to Access. I'm Rob and this is Nath.
Hello.
And The Last of Us has just been announced on PS4.
I know you saw that coming.
Not me.
Me neither.
I did not see it coming.
But we just happened to get this ready.
Yeah, and we thought we'd go through 7 moments from the game that we are really looking forward to playing again on PS4. And it was actually quite hard choosing 7.
I wanted to choose
it?
these curtains. And you said, don't be ridiculous.
Don't be silly.
But honestly, it's one of the classiest menu screens.
Can't have curtains as a moment.
So our first moment is actually
the opening.
Yeah.
We're starting with the opening of the game. And there's quite a lot of reasons.
I mean, initially we kind of thought about the chaos and the drama that's to come in a moment. But then we started talking about this room.
This is the first thing you see in the game. And I remember when I first booted it up and I was absolutely amazed just at the level of detail and polish and care that had gone into creating Sarah's bedroom. I mean, there's the beanbag.
We were talking about, I can't remember which. It was like a developer that one of us had seen on Twitter was just talking about the quality of this beanbag within this room. Like, what kind of a studio has time to craft a beanbag of that quality?
That's probably someone's entire job.
Just beanbag
for
operator.
A week. I reckon that's a week's worth of work there, that beanbag.
But the whole obviously it's a very different pace to the rest of the game, but the kind of the slow build up. This room I found really dramatic. The story's on TV, the mirror's there. It looks incredible as well. The lighting and the shadows and the way that the TV casts a kind of a glow and everything. But then the fact that you can still see stuff out the window and it's still like a live area.
So this bit, the way it connects, explosion happens there. You look out the window.
And it's there. And also and then the mirror's going on at the same time. I don't know, man.
We should probably also say now, if you haven't played The Last of Us yet, do not watch this
mega
video.
Spoilers, yeah.
Just don't watch it.
I mean, obviously. But yes.
This was one of my favourite bits, the phone. The noise it made and the kind of neon glow was perfect. And I thought someone at Naughty Dog has, for reference, got a mobile phone. They've put it on a table and they've looked at how it reacts to the wood and the kind of sound it makes. And this is the first kind of dramatic bit you get in the game where you realise, oh no, this is going to be bad.
But the whole thing's going to be... this apocalypse might not be the laugh ride that I thought it was going to be.
It's not the laugh of us, is it?
And
it's the last of us.
I'm going to skip over that. And this is kind of the moment when we first spoke about putting the opening in as one of the moments we were looking forward to play. This was really what I was thinking of, this section. I remember being really impressed with being able to play as Sarah in the back of the car. You can look around the car. Yeah, exactly. And we were talking about how Thief made a big deal about the hands on the sides of the screen, which was a good thing in Thief, but it's just the way that her hands... I can't believe we're talking about contextual hand placement, but we are. That is one of the things that I was most excited about replaying The Last of Us on PS4. And then the section is the kind of the breakdown of everything that we know and hold dear to us in Civilization.
It's strange, isn't it, how everyone reacts to just a disease coming out. And there's always a bad car crash. Yeah, bad decision, and then you're out on...
This is the actual kind of moment that I was running through a crowded street full of people and everything that was going on and the hecticness.
I mean, why would you drive straight into a petrol station? I know it's chaos, but you would at least look where you're going, wouldn't you?
I don't know. It's not. I mean, to be honest, it wouldn't have made any difference, Rob. That guy and everyone around him would be dead soon anyway. So he can drive where he likes.
Sad times.
It's one of the few times that it's actually fine to drive into a petrol station. If you think about it like
those guys as well.
Oh, I hope you've cut away here. I don't want to see this moment again.
Yeah, because we were talking about moments that we're looking forward to playing through. I don't know about this. I don't know whether I'm actually looking forward to seeing this again in glorious 1080.
No.
Because it's really horrible and harrowing and sad. But it was a great way to say, you know, this is what you're going to be playing through for the next 20 odd hours.
Number 2. I just don't want to think about it. Number 2. So we're somewhere else now. This is the first...
This is the first time you encounter clickers.
And there's... As enemies, there is... I mean, we spent a day making this video. We could have probably made it in less time than that. But we played quite a lot of the game again. And the... I mean, you remember the look of the game and you remember the story of the game. I think that's probably what's most impressive. But the combat was like, I think we were both there just going, the combat's brilliant. Just the way he skulks around is brilliant. Yeah. And then you remember the tricks that you pick up when you play the game. And my one and only trick is to throw something and then run.
Well, let's not spoil your trick, Nath, because we're about to see it.
But I remember the very first time I played this, I was literally, I was like, how the hell am I going to take that thing on? playing through it again is going to have a different feel.
I had
it's
it
going to
quite
have
a
very
lot
much
where
a feel of throwing bricks.
Throw the brick,
stabbing
get
stuff.
something out, and smack its head off. There we go. Clicker dealt with.
And this is the first encounter in the I can't remember what this area is called. It's the outskirts of Boston. It's
the outskirts of
the
Boston.
toppled high rise.
And just
plotting your way around a stealthy encounter against the
stealthing an enemy that can't see you but can hear you made me panic in a way that no other game has. Quite often you'd be standing there thinking, has it noticed I'm here? Has it noticed I'm here? And it kind of be stumbling towards you, and then at the last minute you'd realise, okay, it knows I'm here, and then it's too late because one bite from a clicker and you're just dead.
Check me out actually doing this the way you're supposed to.
Yeah. It took me a long time to edit this, Nath.
Killed one thing. Serious?
Going through here, picking out bits where you weren't rubbish.
Oh, I thought he was done, but he's not done. I needed one more blow.
I mean, this is kind of...
But this is it, though. That's how
combat,
the plan goes wrong. You run away.
Running, clumsy.
You end up on the other end of a corridor.
I mean, this is... that man's face is no more.
Oh, man. Yeah, And I was trying to do this over and over so we'd have an excellent bit of combat to show. What it reminded me, like, just you end up cornered, just desperately
just get the
thinking
gun out
how
and
many.
shoot.
And you just think, how many bullets have I got left? This is later on in the game. This is in the sewers.
Captain Molotov.
I had a lot of stuff
Molotovs
here,
are
and I
great.
don't think I've nearly burnt Sam. I don't think I.
And this is what happens if you let a clicker get too close to you.
I've deserved that more than once.
You just die.
This is one of your choices, number 3.
Yeah, I really liked this bit at the dam, and we were saying yesterday when we went through here, this is before the actual action bit happens, you can tell that there's going to be a shootout, because look at this area.
I wonder why there's all this waist level
kind of cover
objects laid out in a kind of grid.
It looks a lot like a multiplayer map, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And sure enough, it gets invaded. You're asking to be invaded if you live in a fictional shooting universe, and that's how you lay out your dam.
The reason I liked it was because this area, the story kind of set it up to be like a nice rest area, like a haven, where you're just going to come here, some story's going to happen, and then you're going to leave and play the game again. But that tranquility was interrupted by these bandits who attacked.
Thank you very much. That was my headshot.
That's a very good headshot, yeah. That was a good shot as well.
It's hard. That's the thing about watching the game. It's always harder to aim than it looks like it should be if you're just watching.
It's like really brilliantly hard to aim. It feels like how I would aim if I was actually aiming a gun, kind of clumsily and
his arm came
unsure.
off, by the way. His arm definitely came off. That was one of the things that happened. No, and this is kind of a 3-stage fight. And what I liked about it is that I think my favourite bit in the whole fight is when Tommy, your brother, says to you, like, Joel, do your thing, and it's kind of obviously I don't think you ever really find out why they ended up going their separate ways, but obviously Joel reacted to the end of the world and the loss of his daughter in quite a dark way, and he's survived by just becoming insanely hard, and you really come into your own. I feel like when the dam gets invaded, you're like, well, I'm gonna just kill everyone now, and that's what I did. It's a every section, every room of this game just looks just so brilliantly designed.
Yeah. Superb. Okay, so point number 4.
This was my favourite one, even though I didn't actually enjoy. This is winter when you're first. So this is where the game's central twist is, or it just happened, and Joel gets injured, and then there's like just a bit of a lapse of time, and then you're Ellie, and this is the opening scene where you're. It's like a really brilliant demonstration.
Good shot.
Thank you. Of her independence and how she has to kind of grow as a character now that Joel's out of the picture for a little while, and you're hunting a deer, which I was terrible at the first time I played the game. This time, 2 shots and that deer was dead. Thank you.
It's also a very beautiful bit of the game.
Yeah, it is, yeah, until David turns up.
And here he is now. You did a better impression.
Thank you.
I didn't actually realise this was Nolan North voicing David until I'd finished the game and saw it on the credits.
No, I was the same.
So I think he's done a very good job. But this whole section just turns very sinister and horrible towards the end, and you feel already so protective of Ellie, and it really kind of ramps up the tension.
And it comes out in you become kind of like Joel, and you want to protect her, but in doing that, in playing as her, because she has the knife, and as we've already discussed, my way of killing stuff is basically to throw a brick at them and stab them in the eye, and her knife doesn't break because it's made of just super iron.
It's just super knife.
And
it's like having unlimited shivs.
So
And
to me,
shivs are
she's actually in some ways deadlier than Joel, which I don't think is an accident, and which I really like in the game. That there's a really super capable young female character who can, grabs a hunting knife, fends off horrible, odd cannibal dudes, and
we were also talking yesterday about how
away.
satisfying all the reloading was as well.
Yeah,
how you like the reloading in the game.
I like this. This hadn't happened to me on my first playthrough, but it happened to me yesterday.
That guy who's just grabbed your horse looks a lot like Bruce Straley. I wonder if that was deliberate.
Does Bruce really like horses? Maybe if I ever get to interview him again, I'll ask. He just likes.
Was that you in the
grab
game?
Horses.
Grabbing the horse, and then you lose the horse.
I fatally shot a man in the buttock.
It's hunting time, and this was also one of my favourite bits, just stalking through the wilderness. Oh, you've been jumped there. But shot him in the arm and then in the chest, and he's down.
I love using the bow in this game, and I love the whole feel of winter that it gives it. Like, just slows it down and it just makes it a completely different game with a completely different atmosphere.
Each chapter was a completely different game.
Giraffes. This was the first thing that we both said when we said we wanted to make this video.
Okay, what moment do we want in this video? We both instantly said the giraffes.
Yeah.
First of all, look at this giraffe's tongue. Ready?
Do you know what?
That is a perfect giraffe tongue.
What I thought when I was capturing this yesterday was that his eye is massive.
Yeah.
Just got a huge black sad eye. Yeah, and I think, I don't know, like Barry, we were talking about what The Last of Us does that a few other games do, and building up a world and just putting things into it that aren't just completely related to either action or story, and just a moment like this which catches you completely by surprise, and don't know, it says something which is bigger than either of the kind of, the main stuff that you just kind of suck out of games. It's something else entirely.
Seeing them walk away here made me doubly sad, because I knew as soon as they left it was going to be back to...
That I would try and shoot them.
I can't believe you got your gun out here.
I wanted to see if you could. You can't.
And you can't.
No. Sorry, you would be back to...
it would be back to shooting and surviving and trying not to be bitten by a clicker.
It would be great if you could just live with the giraffes.
I would love to walk off with them. Look, they're all leaving now.
Maybe that would be an option in the PS4 remastered version. You'd just be able to walk away.
It's like the game is saying, here's the last bit of niceness.
It reminded me,
it's walking away.
A lot of there's a really striking moment in 12 Monkeys, which I think might be taken from something else again, where there's just a lion is it in New York? Is it in Times Square?
I don't know. I've not seen the film.
Anyway.
Don't talk to me about films, Dave. I've not seen any of them.
Talking about?
And this is the hospital. This is pretty much the end of the game.
The reason I love this section, just because Joel is just full on badass.
I know.
At this point.
And it's like they designed a massive level for you to say, okay,
I'm really good.
What
now.
have you learned over the game?
Show us
how it's done.
Strangling. That's what I've learned.
I love how much he's got, like a flipping warehouse worth of weaponry on his back. Yeah. He's got a flamethrower, an assault rifle, and an axe.
I've got arrows, even though I don't have a bow. I've just got loads of arrows.
And you get a really good sense as well in this area of how good and contextual the combat is. We were saying yesterday about hitting a man with an axe, and the way no two axe strikes are ever the same. Like, we'll see it in a minute. When you hit a man with an axe, it will make contact in never the same body part.
But even if it is a fake, even if they have just found a way to make it look realistic,
there you go,
it looks really realistic. I did a lot.
Bang!
I strangled a lot.
You just need him in the face.
I love the skulking. I just love this whole area.
Yeah.
Playing through it, I don't know. It's like a little playground for stealth.
There's the axe. Oh. And just the way his kind of sound cuts off as well, just when it should.
Oh, in the stomach.
He's like halfway through some dialogue, and the dialogue will just cut off into a horrible dying gargle.
There's one left, isn't there, at this point? Just better have
supplies.
I'm pleased that you've edited out where I accidentally climbed on top of one of these cabinets. Thank you for doing that.
That's all right.
Yeah, was it? Yeah. It was. I believe it was this man. I love walking backwards. Being crouched with Joel and walking backwards.
Walking backwards was first introduced in Uncharted 3, if I'm not mistaken.
Whatever. No man had ever walking backwards.
Bang!
Twonk.
It's just one axe hit in there.
And I broke it off his shoulder.
Here's Captain Molotov back in action.
This is the next floor up, isn't it? So this is just, I mean, obviously we're in super spoiler town, but this is very near the end of the game. Oh man, I'd already dropped a smoke bomb to confuse everyone.
And I really like the lighting.
Confusing.
In the smoke.
And we were talking about how these kind of effects will look in 1080 on PlayStation 4. The only answer I can give at the moment, Rob, is really good. I hope they look really.
I can only imagine. And our very last point then, which you're going to have to talk to me about, Nath, because I have not actually played Left Behind yet.
Yeah, and Left Behind's slightly newer, and so we didn't want to really spoil anything in Left Behind at all. I think most people who are watching this video will have probably played the main Last of Us game at this point. Left Behind is the story-driven DLC. It kind of comes before the main game. It stars Ellie as opposed to Joel. You play Ellie all the way through, and it's split. There's kind of a split timeline where you're looking at things which happened to Ellie before she met Joel, just before they went on their journey, and also during that winter section when there's a whole section which is kind of elided in the game. You don't actually get to play it. So it builds up this relationship that she had with Riley, and at the same time, the things that she experienced then kind of reflect upon that equally important section when she had to fend for herself during winter. It's like brilliantly structured. It's really, really good, and the two blend together very, very well. And then you end up playing this section, which is the earlier section, before she goes on her journey, and it's kind of just loads of little character and story moments. But I don't know, it's just a really touching.
Looks really fun to play. This bit I can't wait to do. You have to do the raw.
Well, this is it. They kind of they're plays on the game's regular mechanics. So stuff like the David fight in the main game, and just the ability to toss bricks like this, they become kind of tiny throwaway like moments of enjoyment between these two teenage girls, and like you just obviously a completely different feeling and atmosphere. It's just like it's exceptional storytelling, man.
It still
really,
turns
really
horrible though.
Yeah, you still have to kill stuff, obviously. I was furious. I was like, I don't know how they found me at this point because they can't see my flashlight. I must have messed something up. I was pretty mad. I fixed it with a bottle and a knife, as I always do.
And you can play all of this in the PS4 version of The Last of Us.
The remastered version, which is coming out this summer.
Which is going to be absolutely amazing. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see some more videos across PlayStation. We've got loads of stuff covering PS4, PS3 and PS Vita. And don't forget to like us as well.